A selfie, that's all it took. One picture, and 4 lives were gone. A pregnant woman, her young son, her sister, and a 76-year-old neighbor. Burned alive in what prosecutors call a calculated act of revenge. This wasn't random. This was personal. And it all started with jealousy. Welcome back to Crime Gone Viral, where we uncover the darkest truths behind headlines that shock the nation. Today's case isn't just another crime. It's a haunting reminder how heartbreak, obsession, and unchecked rage can ignite unimaginable tragedy. What began as a moment of betrayal quickly spiraled into one of the most devastating apartment fires Chicago has seen in years. A young man consumed by jealousy, a relationship that couldn't be let go, and one terrifying decision that shattered an entire family. Let's examine the timeline, the motive, and the horrifying aftermath of a crime fueled by vengeance and the irreversible damage left behind.
Landry Clark remains behind bars tonight after a Cook County judge determines that he is a danger to the community. Investigators say the 23-year-old became enraged and intentionally set fire to his friend's apartment after learning that that friend may have started dating his ex-girlfriend.
On a quiet June morning in Chicago, a fire engulfed an apartment in the Austin neighborhood. Within minutes, 4 lives were lost, including a pregnant woman and her young child. But what sparked this inferno was not an accident. It was rage. Rage born from jealousy, betrayal, and heartbreak. This is the story of Landry Clark, a 23-year-old man accused of turning personal vengeance into a deadly act of arson that shocked an entire city. June 26, 2025. In the early morning hours, neighbors on West North Avenue were jolted awake by flames. Thick smoke filled the air as families rushed to escape. But for 5-year-old Jason Henry, his mother Regina, her sister Destiny, and a 76-year-old neighbor, it was too late. Regina was 3 months pregnant. Survivors were rushed to the hospital. Among them, a 4-year-old boy in critical condition, Destiny's son. Authorities quickly ruled out an accident. The fire bore all the hallmarks of arson. But who would do something so devastating?
We're sticking close together. It's a day-by-day process.
George Smith says his family can finally begin their journey for justice now that the man accused of starting the fatal fire that claimed the lives of his loved ones heads to court. Prosecutors say 23-year-old Landry Clark was angry that his friend and ex-girlfriend were dating, that he allegedly threw a molotov cocktail into the Austin neighborhood apartment where they were, sparking a fire that killed 4 people, including Smith's pregnant cousin and her young son.
Investigators didn't have to look far. Within hours, a suspect emerged, Landry Clark. A 23-year-old Chicago man, Clark was reportedly enraged after learning his ex-girlfriend was now dating one of his close friends. A selfie posted on social media, seemingly innocent, was enough to ignite his fury. That same night, prosecutors say Clark picked up his cousin, stopped at a gas station, and filled a plastic bottle with gasoline. Then they say he purchased black clothing, a face mask, and a lighter from a convenience store. This wasn't impulsive. It was calculated. Just before dawn, Clark and his cousin arrived at the apartment building. According to prosecutors, Clark lit the molotov cocktail and threw it into the apartment where his ex and her new partner lived. Flames spread fast. Inside, Regina Brown, 3 months pregnant, tried to shield her son, Jason. Her sister, Destiny, and the elderly neighbor never made it out. The fire tore through everything. In the aftermath, Clark allegedly admitted to his cousin, "I just lit the house on fire." The victims left behind families torn by grief. George Smith, cousin to the victims, spoke of unimaginable pain.
It's an uphill journey, and the journey has not yet begun. The healing has not yet begun. We're a family that's hurting, we're a family that's sad, we're a family that's in pain.
I just want to tell Destiny I tried to go, I tried. I can't do this. I just want to say Destiny went out strong. She didn't die in vain.
Grief-stricken relatives try to comfort one another as authorities confirm a fourth person has died following a suspicious fire at an apartment building in the city's Austin neighborhood. The family of 28-year-old Destiny Henry sobbed as her body was recovered from the rubble of the three-story building where she and her son, who survived the fire, once lived. The family asked that crews search the building for her. The woman was unaccounted for until today.
Like I said, I wasn't leaving from their home until they brought her out because I was 100% sure that she was in there.
Relatives say Destiny Henry originally escaped harm when flames engulfed the apartment building where she lived in the 5200 block of West North Avenue on the city's west side, but ran back into the burning building to save her son, who she thought was trapped inside.
If my cousin would have known that her son was already out of the window, she probably would still be here right now.
Her son didn't make it, and she was also 3 months pregnant.
Apparently there was some shooting outside first, and then that's when the call them cartel bomb.
This as a community and a family struggle with the pain of loss.
We just ask y'all to please keep the family in your prayers.
Funeral arrangements were delayed, overwhelmed by trauma, shock, and the sheer scale of loss. Regina, Destiny, Jason, the unborn baby, and a 76-year-old resident. Names now etched into a community's memory.
Calling it a horrific crime and a brazen disregard for life, a Cook County judge showed Clark no mercy. Authorities arrested the 23-year-old Chicago man in downstate Springfield on Wednesday. He now faces murder, attempted murder, and aggravated arson charges, along with dozens of additional felony counts. 5-year-old Jason Henry, his mother, 32-year-old Regina Brown Henry, who was 3 months pregnant, Gina's sister, Destiny Brown Henry, and a 76-year-old resident of the building all died.
Police tracked Clark to Springfield, Illinois, on June 27th. He was arrested without incident. In court, prosecutors laid out a chilling timeline: social media jealousy, premeditated planning, the purchase of accelerants, the deadly act of arson. Clark faces multiple felony charges, including 4 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and aggravated arson. His public defender argued there's no direct video evidence of the act, but the circumstantial evidence and the alleged confession paint a damning picture.
Prosecutors say Clark threw out the clothes he was wearing at his grandfather's house. In court, Clark's public defender told the judge that there was no surveillance video of her client committing the crime. She added that although her client has served time in prison for a weapons violation, that he is not violent. Clark does have 2 outstanding warrants for resisting arrest.
Clark's defenders claim he's not violent, that he previously served time for weapons possession but was attempting to turn his life around. Yet he also had 2 active warrants for resisting arrest. So, how did the system miss the signs? Could this tragedy have been prevented? This case raises haunting questions. What role does mental health play in escalating domestic tensions? How can early interventions prevent emotional violence from turning lethal? Are we doing enough to address men's emotional trauma before it becomes destructive? As Landry Clark awaits trial, the community is left picking up the pieces. A Cook County judge showed no mercy, calling his actions a brazen disregard for life. The victim's family seek justice, but no court ruling can restore the lives lost. This was more than a crime. It was a preventable tragedy, a chilling reminder of what happens when anger turns into action. Before you go, remember this. Sometimes the smallest emotional sparks can ignite irreversible consequences. Stay aware of the signs. Protect your peace and those around you. If this story moved you, like the video to support awareness. Comment your thoughts. What could have prevented this tragedy? Subscribe to At Crime Gone Viral for more real stories that reveal the truth behind the headlines. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next case we uncover. Every click helps bring these stories to light and remind us all to never ignore the warning signs. Thank you for watching. God bless you.